I guess you would call that the pedestrian walkway, or I don't know, what would you call that? Because it's not, it's kind of like a parking lot over here and a walkway over here, but yet you have a car park there, so it's not cordoned off the right way. That could be a safety factor in the future. This is definitely 100% a trip hazard. Someone could break their ankle or break a foot, or better yet, get seriously injured. The city of Boston should be all over that. Now across the street over here, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this used to be the old Goodyear tire factory. Old Goodyear tire factory. That's where they used to make tires, right there. All kind of tires, tractor, trailer tires, semi-tractor tires. I don't know if you guys heard the news today, but today I believe the city backed down on removing Molina's trees. They got so much feedback and backlash, I believe they decided to withdraw from cutting down 125 trees. I have to double check to make sure. I heard some news feed about it that they will no longer cut those trees down. I did many videos on where's the money that should have been going to fix and maintain the trees that they already had for the past 30 years, and no one can ever tell me where the money went to. Marty Walsh won't even return my phone call. Kim Janey is a non-compliant. She's like, there's no words to describe her. She's the city councilor for this area, and this area needs a major upgrade, and it hasn't had it in years. And she also has some knowledge in doing with removal of the Harriet Tubman house. And she was the direct person in charge of that, and she still refused to answer any calls and concerns about it. Many people, I don't know if you guys notice, many people try to contact Kim Janey on numerous occasions for different reasons, and she only does lip service to the ones that she thinks she can advance from. Here's my man again on the bike. He's all over the city. What's going on, my man? You're everywhere, man. I be seeing you around. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Yeah, man. I remember you saw me down there before on every Thursday. I'm everywhere, man. I always doing videos. Good to see you, my man. I see you everywhere too. I'll catch you on the next one. All right. This guy, at one point you find him downtown. Next minute you see him in Grove Hall. He gets around on that bike. He does get around. So I guess they plan on building this here. Looks like some kind of center or something like that. Now, this is something way before my time, but I don't know if you guys notice or not. It's good to listen to your elders and learn from your elders. In the 50s and 60s, I want to say, mostly in the 40s and 50s, before they had the elevated Orange Line train that came from Dudley Square, used to be streetcars that went down the same exact road. Up until this day, when they dig up the streets they still find some parts of the tracks still in the ground. So we're talking some history here. Used to be streetcars before they had the elevated train. Now they took down the elevated train. I want to say it was late 80s, early 90s. They took it down, and then they put it on the Southwest Corridor. So you see a lot of history down here. There's a lot of stuff that changes. A lot of stuff that has changed over the years. So let's take a little quick look at what we see over here.
Progress, 19 Bucknam Street off of Fisher. I think he saw somebody at the screen. It's just somebody tried to tear open the back screen. Male, 5'9". I'm waiting for further. 19 Bucknam.
In some of these streets, believe it or not, you still can find the old cobblestone. A lot of them are gone, but a few of them have been asphalted over, and they still have the original cobblestone underneath. They put that sign on the wrong direction. It's basically backwards. It's supposed to face out, but they got it facing in. There's still the old coal chutes here. This is the old sidewalks, like, and this is like original. This is from back in the 50s, maybe a little older than that, but this is still the same sidewalk. And these things will last a long time if they're, you know what I mean, if they're leveled off in good condition. They'll last for, and maintained properly, they'll last for a long, long time. Actually, I'm gonna show you a little bit. If I still find one of these on the curb, I'm gonna see if I can show you one of these. I don't know. They might have got rid of them all because they used to be here back in the day. I don't see them now. I'm gonna keep my eyes out. See if I see one of them. There has to be at least one somewhere. Maybe they got rid of them all.
See? Go ahead, man. You have the mail on the board?
Years ago, you could find quite a few of them on the around here. That goes to show you how much construction happened over the years. There has to be at least one of them. If I find one, I'll show it to you guys. You guys can see how old this area really is. It might take a while to find one, but it has to be one somewhere. So I just basically walked the whole Dudley area, at least on this side anyway. Give you some footage of what goes on in the city. Roxbury Center. I don't know the actual history, like, thoroughly, but I just know the history that I knew me growing up in this area. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know a little bit more than I do.
Thank you.
Route 104, call, I want to speak with us.
Just want to give you a picture of this little plaque over here. I don't think I got it the first time I walked by. So here we go. The Ferdinand building. That's how it looked back in the day. In that picture, you can see the old tracks.
104, she's not picking
That's
up.
before the elevated trains were even built.
My voicemail's
So we're going back some years right there.
No, we're outbound.
So a little history.
Alright, I left a message. Trying it again.
What's the apartment number?
Call ticket and put an apartment number.
So Department of Transportation. Those are the I guess they're like the supervisors, road supervisors for the Boston school busing.
Alright, 104, she answered that time. She's coming out.
So it looks like they did a good job in, fixing up some of this area. But there's still other parts that still could use some improvement. This used to be the old Social Security building back in the day. I'm not too sure what it was before that, but I remember it being the Social Security building. Well, it's a different structure. They tore the older one down and rebuilt a new structure. So this Looms company is going to every business and picking up the money.
Route 104. Yeah, may open up the screen and reach in from some items out of there.
Take a quick walk over here.
Second response.
Bravo detective. Bravo detective.
Now this used to be Boston 5-cent Savings Bank. It's now Citizens Bank. The other bank, wow, I can't remember the other bank that used to be next to it. It's gonna come back to me in a wow, it's bad. My memory's kind of slipped me for a second. I forget the name of the bank that used to be over here. I know this used to be the Boston 5 Bank over here. The other bank, it'll come back to me. I can't think of it what it is now. Guys are digging the trench.
Someone looking for it?
Yes, it's 19 Buckman Street.
Texas, we have it.
Sorry, I was on a landline when you came over.
I don't know if you guys know what these are, but these are what you use to prevent the walls from caving in. So according to the OSHA standards, when you dig a trench, I believe 4 feet or deeper, you have to support the walls from caving in on you. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You could use wood, you could use these things here, or they have these metal frames that they push down in there, and do it that way too. There's a couple of ways you can do it, but you have to support the walls in the event that they do cave in. So if you do go into the trench, and the other thing you should have is, I don't know if you guys know this, you should have a safety harness on you, so in the event you do fall in there, somebody can pull you out. You should have a safety harness with a rope tied to the back of you, so if you fall down there, you're able to get pulled out without having somebody have to go down and get you out. There's a lot of training that people should have. I don't know if you guys remember, about 3 or 4 years ago, in the Back Bay, I believe it was. I believe it's 2 gentlemen had passed away when a trench collapsed on them, and that's one of the main reasons why you got to have that. Because once the dirt compresses on your chest, it pushes the air out so you can't breathe, and it's a matter of a second before all the oxygen is gone. So very, very important when you go in a trench like this. If it's higher than your waist, I recommend having a safety harness with a rope, and the walls should be shored up. And you should have OSHA training. Everybody should have OSHA training. Don't skip class, don't fall asleep. Have the training.
They said they've got a male on camera that appears to be sleeping in the back under the stairs there.
I got it. Coming up. Thank you.
As you can see, they are building up some of this area. Silver Slippers on the other side over there. They've been there for years. Eventually, they might end up moving that out the way, so I'm not sure. No, I'm all set, thanks.
What are you videotaping on for?
I'm videotaping everything I see in public.
Why?
A couple of reasons. I'm creating a public document. I'm exercising my first...
Can you shut that off, please?
No, I can't. Not in public, I can't.
Yeah, but you videotape me.
It doesn't matter, you're in public. If you're in public, you could be recorded. I don't know if you know that or not.
So what's this for?
News and advertisement purposes. You understand? I can't explain it to you. It's too. If you don't understand now, you probably never will. But you know what the First Amendment is, right?
Right.
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom to
Yeah, but
read.
some of these guys might not be comfortable.
It doesn't matter. Like we don't how you say it? We're not here to help make people comfortable. I mean, you can't sacrifice your freedom to make somebody comfortable. I don't know if you know that or not. I'm trying to educate you in the best way I can. And I don't even know who you are, but for you to tell me I can't record, I don't know who the hell he thinks he is. Now, I'm not a First Amendment auditor, but a lot of people call me an auditor, so in reality, I am doing the audit. I don't know, who the hell is he to tell me I can't record? I don't know who he is. I don't know. It says something about state on it. He's like, maybe he's a state inspector or something like that, but either way, he can't tell me I can't record in public. Not even the police can tell you you can't record in public. So for him to come over here and even entertain that, that doesn't make any sense. Now, I was trying to educate him, he walked away. So most people don't want to get educated, and I was not being hostile to him. I was trying to educate him so he don't have that problem again, telling someone they can't record people or people don't feel comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I do feel. And so he's got the police officer over here. Let's see if the police officer respects the First Amendment. If they don't respect the First Amendment, did you explain it to him? You explained to him what he was trying to figure out, right?
Who, him?
Yeah.
No, he's somebody for this job here.
He's an inspector, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was telling me I can't record him, and I told him, I said, I'm in public. I said, I don't know like who you are to tell me I can't record people in public.
Yeah, no, I'm on my way over there.
Yeah.
But you're in a public space, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
All right.
I appreciate you, man.
All
Take care. What's your name?
Be safe. My name is Jay.
Jay, Nez.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Take care,
Have a
buddy.
good day, sir.
All right. So, Boston police and the state police and all the local police departments, they got a very intensive class on the First Amendment. And even though they got the intensive class on the First Amendment, they still violated people's rights of the First Amendment. So now what happened is, I was talking to a lawyer, they got a major federal lawsuit pending in federal court because of how they violated the First Amendment so many times over and over again. And not only have they violated the First Amendment right, they were known to destroy evidence related to the First Amendment, which made it even a bigger, oh, it's going to be a bombshell. If that thing ever drops the right way, that's going to be a major bombshell. With people tampering with evidence and destroying evidence and intimidating people. It's a whole line of stuff that goes on and on and on. And they got so many cases pending right now. Some they're going to settle out of court. Some may go all the way to the end. But it's really serious. It's really bad. Because for years and years, the police department were like intimidating people from taking pictures, from recording. It happened to me myself. There was a detective that pulled me and my brother over in Brighton. He was a narcotics officer. It was Officer Darren and the other officer, I forget his name, but they harassed me and my brother. Said we were coming out of a drug house and all this stuff, and I went to take a picture of him. He's like, you can't take a picture of my license plate. I'm like, what do you mean? You're in public. He got mad and told me to get back in the car. A whole lot of stuff. It goes on and on and on. But Boston Police has a history of doing that. So now, the cameras are on them now. So they don't do that as much. They still do it, but they don't do it as much as they used to do it. So like the First Amendment is very important. The freedom of speech part, the freedom of press, the right to retrieve your government, the freedom of religion, you know, all that stuff, this freedom of assembly, all that stuff is very important, because little by little they're trying to take it away from us. And if you don't exercise your rights, you lose them. So you must exercise your rights. You know, it's like muscles. If you don't use your muscles, you lose them. So I encourage anybody who has the right to use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. And when it's gone, it's very hard to get it back. And you First Amendment auditors out there, you Second Amendment auditors out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, the Second Amendment is very, very, very important as well. It's very important that we respect all our amendments. You know, if it weren't for these amendments, we would not even have the ability to vote right now, to be honest with you. He said those people he said they might feel uncomfortable. Well, what do you think how the slaves felt? You think the slaves felt comfortable being chained and whipped and dragged and hung? You think the slaves felt comfortable about that? We're not here to make people feel comfortable. We're here to make people free. I'm not here to enforce somebody's comfortability. That's not what I'm here for. Now, if they weren't in the public eye, then I would not be even be able to record them in the first place. But since they are, there's a lot of construction in this area. I figure for the next foreseeable future, there's going to be a lot of construction because these areas are little by little, they're trying to bring them up. It may take 5, maybe take 10 years, but it's a lot of planning they have. This truck does have outriggers, but he's not using them. So I noticed that rocking of the tire there, that rocking of the tire senses the not stable of the truck. Now he doesn't really need them because he's not lifting something heavy, but it's good to use your outriggers because sometimes you will need them. The outriggers help stabilize the tractor so it doesn't rock like that. Like he has the front, which is that shovel is the outrigger as a stabilizer for the front, but the side is the other one. Now they always tell you to use them. Anybody who has a hydraulic license, they tell you to use them at all times. Matter of fact, you're supposed to use them at all times. They don't want you not to use them because that's how eventually a vehicle or equipment does tip over. Alright guys, I'm gonna head up out of here. Just want to give you a little footage of what goes on in the city. If anything else pops up, I'll be sure to show you guys. Looks like a car parked in a very bad location over there. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a lighter. Wait a minute. This is the Silver Line right here. This is the bus that goes all the way downtown. This is the bus that I should say the bus line that replaced the orange line. So what they originally had planned to put a light train rail. This is when Roxbury APAC was still in existence. They planned to put a light train rail, and then they opt out of that and they just put a Silver Line bus line. So they, as you can see how they changed it on us. Alright guys, I'm going to cut this one short. Until next time guys, Nez Porter. Catch you on the next one.